What's up, guys? Welcome back to the third episode of Pub Talk. We are here at Jack Quinn's as always. I've got the social media captain himself, Patty Seagrist. And gonna have another great episode. Solancha.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, Patty. How did you get the nickname Social Captain?
It started when I played in Memphis last year. Actually, just after games or whenever we had an off day, I always was the guy to bring people together, make plans, whether it was be at the pool, whether it was go out to dinner, go grab drinks. I was always the guy facilitating that. So that's something I was known for, and I kept it running throughout the whole year, and I am trying my best to do that while I'm here in Colorado.
How's it going? Well, I know you got a couple favorite spots. I know you frequent Trainwreck, right?
Yeah, I'm frequent Trainwreck. View House is one of my favorites here. I enjoy coming to Jack Quinn's whenever I get the chance to as well. And I'd say for restaurants, I really enjoy going to Denver Biscuit Company as well.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Then they got everything too.
Exactly.
Their burger is low-key actually one of the best things on the menu. So you grew up outside of Chicago. So I gotta ask, are you a Chicago pizza fan, or what's your favorite?
That's the one unique thing about me is I don't like deep dish pizza, which is a sin coming from Chicago.
Right.
And ever since I lived in Jersey for a whole year, I was really tailored to the thin crust lifestyle.
I'm an East Coast guy, so.
Ever since then, I've always been New York, New Jersey style pizza.
I went to Lou Malnati's though when I was in Chicago, and like it's legit, but it just doesn't feel like pizza, you know?
Staple.
Yeah.
But 2 tomatoes.
So you a hot beef guy then? Right? Is it hot beef? Isn't that the same?
Italian beef.
Italian beef, okay.
Yeah, I love that. Portillo's, shout out Portillo's.
I've heard it, yeah. I've heard of Portillo's.
And then the big thing at Portillo's is the chocolate cake shake.
Chocolate cake shake? That
Chunks of a chocolate cake mixed with a milkshake, Chicago base, cheese fries, and Italian beef dipped.
Okay, wet, right? Is that what they call it? Wet? Yep.
Wet.
Perfect. Yeah, I love Chicago. Chicago has such good food. Mm-hmm. So then you went to school at Marquette.
Yes.
And what was your time like there, balancing being a student athlete and playing, with Marquette for all 4 years?
Yeah, so I actually, when I committed my sophomore year of high school, and when I graduated on a Friday from Conant High School, shout out Conant, and started school at Marquette the following Monday. So I didn't get my second semester senior lifestyle. I didn't get the opportunity.
So you graduated early?
Graduated a semester early. I didn't get the opportunity to enjoy it. And that was all part of the process of trying to be a professional soccer player, as I had to finish school in college in December. So I had this long plan, and I had a great counselor in high school to help me with that, Matthew Wiley. I owe a ton to him. And he was able to help get that process facilitated. And then as I came to Marquette, the first 2 years school-wise were very difficult, just adjusting to going from high school education to college education. So then after that, I was working my way, and then actually finished school on the dean's list my senior year. Graduated on time, above a 3.0, and everything worked out, and I stuck to the process. And another big part was my first 2 years at Marquette were very difficult from a soccer and school perspective, not winning, just not having a car as well, not being able to go home even though I was an hour and a half away. I was able to see my family a lot, just have that flexibility. And then as I got older, I became more adjusted to the lifestyle of being in college, being an adult, and then things started to move more smoothly. And then my junior and senior year were some of the best times of my life with my friends, with my family, going to the process of going to the draft, getting an agent and things like that. So I think it showed a lot of resilience. It was good for me as not only as a soccer player, but as a person. And I had a lot of resources, which I owe a lot to Marquette for being able to give those to me.
And you mentioned the success you made, first team All Big East in 2018. What did that achievement mean?
Yeah, I made it my junior and senior year.
Both years, okay.
Yes, and then all tournament team. And that's something I always set out to do. Even at a young age, I wanted to be the best left back in the Big East, and I went and did that. And I also just, like I said, graduating from high school, I knew what I wanted to do from a very early standpoint and stuck with it, doing the right things. Even in high school, just when we had academy games every week, and I wasn't able to see my high school friends on the weekend, so it took a lot out of me, but eventually it all paid off. So,
what was the trip like to London with Marquette?
That was one of the best experiences we've ever had. We didn't sleep a lot. We were always on the move. We saw a bunch of professional games. We played a bunch of academy teams, and it was such like a great experience. And then seeing all these people at the right places at the right time. We went to go see the Queen's Palace, and right when we're there, she's leaving the palace in her Rolls Royce. And then when we're heading back home from Manchester Airport, we run into Gabriel, Jesus, and Ederson in the airport. So
all right.
That just added a lot of awesomeness to the trip, as well as seeing a different way of life evolved around soccer, which I think a lot of our group always appreciated. And if you know Marquette, like, we always talked about going on this trip, and it was kind of like, oh, it'll never happen, like, we'll see. And then it eventually happened the year before I graduated, and I wasn't complaining, so it worked out well.
That looked like a rad experience. What do you think was kind of some takeaways of getting to experience soccer abroad and versus, obviously, I noticed you called out the sport is growing here, we're getting there, but what was kind of some of the biggest takeaways you took from the differences over there?
I think I had a little bit of it my freshman year of college. I went on a trip with Bridges FC, which is a nonprofit that is based out of Chicago and helps people become pro in a different country. So I was one of the youngest guys, and this program was helping other guys be able to achieve that dream, where we slept in a gym floor on gymnastics mats for 2 weeks in Denmark, and then 2 weeks we slept on cots in a locker room in Sweden and eating the same breakfast every day, same dinner every day. So that was very eye-opening to me about the culture of playing overseas and things like that. And just seeing that at a different level when I went with college is something that you just see the different levels of European soccer, and you compare it to American soccer, and you just have so many different avenues and aspects of how soccer is portrayed in different countries, which is very unique and interesting.
Yeah. So were you always soccer? Because I know you're a big basketball fan. Did you play basketball at all, or was it always straight soccer? That was what you wanted to do?
Yeah, so I played basketball a lot when I was in grade school, a ton, and then
Straight baller then.
I still run fives at Vasa Fitness here. Shout out Vasa Fitness. And I really wanted to kick in high school. So funny story, my high school gym teacher was the football coach. And as a joke, he was teaching advanced soccer for gym, which I was signed up for, ironically, as one of my gym classes. And as a joke, he's like whipping out footballs during one of the days. He doesn't know or care too much about soccer. And me and a buddy are just kicking 55, 60-yard field goals. And then I find out 2 days later that he emailed my mom behind my back trying to get me to come kick. And my mom didn't tell me till after, denying that she didn't want me to play. And I was like, fair enough. But yeah, so my parents never let me play football. I always wanted to, but
I was way too small to play football.
Exactly.
So.
I mean,
was a baseball player. I didn't have
Exactly.
I noticed you're into horse racing. How did that start, and what was it like going to the Kentucky Derby?
Yeah, horse racing started for me and my family at a very young age. I'd want to say 6 or 7. We lived near Arlington Racetrack, located in suburbs of Chicago, and we would go every Sunday or every Mother's Day or Father's Day brunch with my other family members and soccer teammates at the time. And that for us was just like a culture on weekends, as our club was literally located 5 minutes from the racetrack as well. So even when our parents were dropping us off at soccer, they'd go over to the races and have a good time. And that culture has stuck with me a lot. I'm still into it to this day. And then Kentucky Derby was definitely an eye-opening experience for me, as I had one of my best friends living in Louisville at the time. And to have that opportunity to stay there with him, use his place, and then he had the hookup for the tickets the day before, and then we were on the inside track for the actual race, was very unique. It was actually one of the craziest days because it was pouring rain. And it was one of the first Kentucky Derbies where the winner was disqualified for cutting off a horse as he was winning.
I didn't realize there was even those rules.
Yeah, so that turned out to be like a long process, but I mean, it was cool dressing up, being a part of that lifestyle, and then also just carrying that on from a young age.
You look
Yeah,
good, man.
exactly.
You kind of touched on it, but what was it like getting drafted 10th overall? What was that process like? How did that feel? How special was it to get to celebrate that with your friends and family?
Yeah, it was definitely one of the best days of my life, I want to say. But leading up to that, just how my college team was never the team to make the NCAA tournament. I wasn't sure if I was going to get invited to the MLS Combine, and it was more just like a resiliency thing, like staying focused. Like, I was in a stage where I was just happy to be drafted at all. And then I ended up getting invited to the Combine, and I did very well at the Combine. And then I got a call a few weeks later after that saying that they want a video crew in my house to film, and they'll cater some food, send some gear. So I was like, holy shit, this is actually happening. And then just based on the teams I interviewed when I was there, I talked to Red Bulls, I talked to a bunch of different teams, and Red Bulls was located at the 15th pick. So I was just happy and blessed to go 15 at that time. And then once Chicago was at 10, I was like very confused. I didn't know what was happening, and then wasn't sure if I was gonna stay in my hometown or what was going on. There's kind of a pause of uncertainty, and then I saw my name called after Red Bull traded up, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. I invited all my closest friends, whether they were from college, high school, hometown. It was nice to have them all there as opposed to being present in the actual thing. So I think that meant a lot, as well as having my family there, and it was very close-knit, very tight, and it was very hectic. I had to fly out the next day, go to like all these meetings, and then after that go to Jersey. So it's a quick turnaround. It's a unique lifestyle, and you just gotta be ready for that.
Speaking of which, you have, your journey is taking you to Miami, to Indy, and then most recently to Memphis, and you were kind of a part of last season, which was kind of, in my opinion, a turnaround season for them. You guys performed very well last year in Memphis. Yeah. What was Memphis like? What was it like being a part of the Beale Street Boys, I think you called yourselves, right? What was your time like there? Yeah,
my time there was honestly one of the most memorable moments to this day in my professional career, because coming from the first 2 teams I was with, I was cut from both teams. I was waived or wasn't looked at when I was on loan. So that was kind of like one of those I'm here, I need to make myself known. And then every other person that was there had some sort of story similar to mine, where we were all college kids. We've all been cut from a team. We've all had to deal with the process of going on trial with teams, trying to make ourselves known coming out of college, which is very difficult at the MLS level. So, and obviously we weren't being paid a whole lot. We didn't have the resources and flexibility that MLS teams do, or even well-known USL teams, where we were just making the most of our time. We knew exactly what we had to do. We knew a big thing also was that we each knew each other in some aspect, whether it was mutual friends. I ended up playing with one of my best friends growing up in Chicago, which was a dream come true to do that. Guys I went to the combine with, mutual friends, all those sort of things all tied together, which made us so close, as well as being able to do things outside of soccer, being able to do things special while we're playing, like being
Memphis is a fun city too.
Exactly. So yeah, we made the most of it. And then obviously I had my girlfriend there at the time, so I was able to live with her for a year, and like there's not much I could complain about. And then obviously when we played Colorado Springs here last year, I saw the facility. I heard a lot about it from mutual friends, and I always wanted to live in Colorado growing up, as my mom lived here. So that's somewhere I always wanted to live, and it was a no-brainer wanting to come here.
I know you said you celebrated at Jack Quinn's, I think, after you beat us too.
Yes, so. I did. Shout out Jack Quinn.
No, that's great. So just out of my personal curiosity, obviously Ben Pierman was a big part of your guys' success, and now he's, leading the charge in Charleston and having a lot of success there. What was it like working with him, and how did it maybe differ from what you're getting here as well? Yeah,
Ben Pierman, I owe a lot to that guy. That guy believed in me, just like he believed in all these other guys when we were at a time of we didn't know how our soccer careers were gonna play out. And also being a local Midwesterner himself, we shared a lot of similarities, and he's one of those guys I have a lot of respect to, where if we weren't getting lunch after practices, he was always the guy stepping up and taking care of us. If we ever needed anything, he was always the guy to go out of his way and do it for us. And that speaks a lot about a coach, being able to do that and be supportive, and also just connect with us via text or via phone call about certain things that he sees in the game, or he would like to see more out of you. And he expects a lot out of each and every one of his players. So I think that he deserves everything that he's gotten in Charleston. He deserved Coach of the Year last year, and it's not just from him being such a great soccer coach, it also comes from him being a great person off the field.
I saw you tweet about how you're more popular than Dwayne Wade at Marquette. You were on the Jumbotron more than Dwayne Wade? Like, how did that all play out?
I want to say me and my buddy were kind of goofballs whenever we went to Marquette basketball games. We were always trying to be obnoxious, flamboyant, and we always wanted to make ourselves known and just be hysterical like we still are to this day. That's why I have such a good relationship with my college friend. Shout out Michael Gall. And we were just always on the Jumbotron every time we went to a Marquette basketball game, just making ourselves known, getting rowdy, especially with our other college teammates. So we were just embracing the moment. We didn't know where we were gonna be. I have a bunch of college friends still in Chicago. And we want to make the most of our moments when we were there, and that's exactly what we did, especially our junior and senior year. We just want to have a great time, make memories, and every time we see each other, we still create a bunch of memories.
That's awesome. And I also saw you met another NBA legend. I saw you took a picture with Derrick Rose. How did that all play out?
So me and my buddy went on a trip to Phoenix and had a hotel. It was right after my junior year of college, right in winter break, and I was just leaving my hotel to go get breakfast, and I see Derrick Rose outside my hotel, and I'm like, Chicago legend.
Yeah.
Had to take a picture with him. So luckily, he was a class guy, very nice. Able to see him. Didn't talk to him much, obviously.
Right.
He's an NBA superstar, ex-NBA MVP. So, yeah.
How are you liking Colorado so far?
Yeah, I love Colorado. I have the flexibility. Two of my best college friends live in Denver, so I'm able to see them a lot. They're an hour away, which very flexible in order to see them, go watch Marquette basketball games, NBA games, whatever it may be. They come down and see me, which speaks volumes. Having two of my closest college buddies, shout out Cade and Brody, and just having that hometown connection really means a lot being here. And then as I'm here now, I try and be a part of whatever I can outside of soccer, because I see guys on my team every day. I'm friends with a guy from Trainwreck, which he always takes care of me, and then I always take care of him as well. Know people within the community, whether it's at the gym or wherever it may be. Just being able to create those connections with a bunch of people. And I think that goes a long way as to building a soccer culture and bringing more people around to Colorado Springs.
What do you think so far? You know, we had one of our earliest ever sellouts at the Cinco de Mayo match. What have you been thinking about the atmosphere and the crowd and kind of all the support you guys have been getting on that front?
Yeah, I mean, it's been massive. I mean, that's something that has attracted me here to Colorado Springs initially, was the crowd, the atmosphere, and being able to see that every home game I've had. I haven't had one moment where I felt there weren't a lot of people there. Even when we had a cold game versus Hartford, just being able to see so many people rowdy, the fireworks, the lights, like everything that's incorporated into the game makes it so special for so many people. So I think that speaks a long way as a soccer player for me to say that, where I haven't had that experience in very many places. I don't even think I would feel that as much at some MLS environments. So being able to be a part of that and be able to give these fans exactly what they're expecting is a huge thing in this community, as well as it being the only professional soccer team here in Colorado Springs. So
only professional team.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, the not so good. Been on the road a little bit and kind of going through some woes, 3 straight losses. What's morale like, and how are you guys kind of preparing and looking forward to Tampa to try and hopefully bounce back?
Yeah, I mean, morale isn't the highest. Obviously, we've lost 3 games in the past 3 games.
Close games.
Yeah. And morale, we just are at a point where we need to come together and we need to take an extra step in intensity, in being together, in a lot of different aspects. We just need to come together as a group and be able to portray what the coaches are telling us, the information they're giving us, and truly taking pride in the tactics and what we're doing to accomplish to get 3 points each day in and day out. And I think that we're at a point where it's very early in the season. I don't think it's anything to scramble or worry about, especially knowing the Switchbacks were a very gritty, resilient team, and there's so much more to be seen with us. And if you don't believe that, then go support someone else, honestly. Like, we're coming to win every game. We show it. We show it in training. We show it on the field. And that's all there is to it. We're gonna come and win. We still got a long ways to go, so people better believe that.
What's it like in this role, and maybe kind of did this a little bit in Memphis, but it seems like you're playing more of a traditional fullback. You're forward a lot more than you're back. How are you liking that role and that kind of responsibility, and how do you feel at your position right now?
Yeah, I feel like that I'm in a good position on an attacking end. I feel sometimes I run a little too much, but that's my job. That's That's what I'm told to do, and I have the ability to do that, which is why I fit the role perfectly. And I feel like I contribute a lot to the attacking end as well as the defensive end. And the way we play is we're very direct, we're very aggressive, and the way we play suits the way I am as a player and as a person. And based on what Hoagie and the other coaches tell me, I'm doing my best to just be able to suit what they want me to do as a player and being able to add my own sort of creativity to it, which is very important as an outside back, as well as being able to be on the defensive end as well as the attacking. So I think both of those play a huge aspect.
Got another tough test in Tampa this weekend. What are you guys looking forward to going all the way out east?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking forward to turning things around. I mean, we're all pissed off. We should get away with wins that we haven't been, and we're just ready to go into a place that is very well known in the USL Championship and be able to make a statement going in there, especially where we're at right now. Is we have a lot to prove. It's still early, and we gotta let these guys know what we're made of.
Speaking of which, you will be able to check out another watch party here at Jack Quinn's this weekend, so make sure you guys show up and support Jack Quinn's as always, and the Trailheads. Shout out to them for always putting on a good event here. One last question I have. What's it like going into Indy with Macca just going over there? Was there some friendly banter going on there? Like, how is it? Obviously, it's part of the job and a part of the industry, but like, you know, what was that? Obviously, the result, whatever,
yeah,
you know, we can forget about that, but.
Mac is one of my closest friends. Me and him always took care of each other when we were here. And just being able, I mean, I obviously played in Indy, and seeing him just like giving each other smirks here and there, him shoving me shoving him, going into tackles, him protecting his teammates, that it's one of those things like, you just put aside the friendship here and there, and you're focused on the game. Like, that's the only thing you care about, is getting the result. And it was obviously good seeing him after. It was good to be able to spend the time I had with him while I was here. And yeah. Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, this is your opportunity. What else you got going on? I know you're editing videos. People should check you out on social media. Or what else you got going on? This, as Duke did, this camera, what you got going on?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say I'm always out and about. So if anyone ever wants to spend time with me or get to know me, my door's always open. And another big thing I'm very intrigued to do while I'm in Colorado is go fly fishing. So if anybody has connections or knows of anybody that could help in that area, I would love to be a part of it or learn or any aspect in that. And I'm just really excited to be here. Or if you have any tips and tricks while I'm in the Springs, I'm all open.
Perfect. Awesome. Cheers, buddy. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
And thank all of you guys for tuning in.